The eternal question. What's the meaning of life? If you're like most of us, you probably started pondering this in the middle of a coffee break, staring blankly at your half-drunk latte thinking, is this it? Is this all there is? Once upon a time, we had neatly packaged answers to this question. Religion, tradition, the afterlife, etc. But in the modern age, well, things get a little more complicated. No longer is it about following the blueprint laid out by your parents and your grandparents. We're all about finding our own path with more competition than before. Back in the day, you didn't have to wonder about the meaning of life because you were told by your religion, your culture, or the giant community that made up your world. But now many of us are like, do I really need religion to tell me how to live my life? Can't I just figure this out for myself? And for some, that's led to a search for meaning in other places. Maybe we turn to self-fulfillment or personal achievement. Maybe we get involved in a social justice movement or become experts in mindfulness. Or if you're like me, you find yourself deep in a YouTube rabbit hole trying to figure out why avocado toast is so expensive. You know, the usual. But here's the kicker. Self-fulfillment sounds nice, but it's a little slippery. Everyone's telling you to be your best self, live your truth, and take that leap of faith. But honestly, how many of us are actually doing that? If your self-fulfillment involves staying in bed for 14 hours binge-watching Netflix, are you really living your best life? In a world that offers endless choices, sometimes we end up feeling more lost than ever. Enter technology, the big game changer. Social media, artificial intelligence, and the internet have fundamentally changed how we interact with the world, our friends, and even ourselves. In the old days, people would chat over coffee. Now they tweet their thoughts or post selfies at brunch. Social media gives us the illusion of connection, but often leaves us wondering, is this it? Why do I feel so connected, yet still so lonely? Take Instagram, for example. You scroll through your feed and see someone in Bali living their best life, sipping coconut water on a beach at sunrise. And you're like, cool, I'm just over here in my sweatpants contemplating my life choices. Technology can make you feel like you're part of the world, but also make you question if you're doing it right. Suddenly, your worth is tied to likes, followers, and how many people watch your #Hats mood post. If that doesn't make you question the meaning of life, I don't know what will. Okay, now let's get existential for a moment. AI is coming for us all. Machines can now do what used to be considered uniquely human. They can drive cars, goodbye Uber drivers, write books, looking at you, robot authors, and even create art. So if robots can do all that, what's left for us to do? What makes us special anymore? Sure, AI can't yet cry over a breakup or create a masterpiece of emotional depth, thankfully, but it's making us wonder, where do we fit in? Will future generations find their purpose in creativity and emotional connections? Or will they just be competing with robots for jobs in the next decade? Can you imagine a world where your job is just watching robots work? Yeah, that's a fun thought. But wait, there's hope. People are now rejecting the traditional paths to meaning. You don't have to work in a soul-sucking corporate job, get married, buy a house, have kids, and call it a day. No. Now people are designing their lives around what they want. Minimalism, travel, entrepreneurship. These are the new buzzwords. In this brave new world, your happiness isn't defined by the 9-to-5 grind. It's about living on your terms. But here's the thing. Life design isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It sounds amazing in theory, but when your minimalist lifestyle consists of only 3 shirts and your entire wardrobe is in a backpack, reality hits. You can't exactly say, hey, I'm minimalist, when you're camping out on your buddy's couch for the 3rd week in a row. Life design works for some, but for others, it's more like life redesign, because we're constantly wondering, is this really the path to fulfillment? Maybe it's time to accept that the meaning of life is just about being okay with figuring it out as we go. AI and automation have changed the way we think about work and purpose. It's no longer a world where humans are the undisputed top performers in every field. Once work defined us. Our job was often how we introduced ourselves. I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, were pretty solid responses that told people a lot about us. Now, we might answer, well, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet because machines are doing it. So what does it mean to work in an age where robots do most of the heavy lifting? If you're no longer defined by your job, how do you define yourself? Is it about creative pursuits, emotional connection, or maybe just chilling on the beach? Because, hey, that's an option now, right? Many people are coming to terms with the fact that machines can handle logistics, customer service, and even make decisions faster than us. The question is, what does that leave for us? Do we even need to work to find fulfillment anymore? Or should we redefine what work means in the first place? Some might argue that having machines do the menial work frees humans to explore greater creativity, relationships, and innovation. On the other hand, what happens to our identity when the thing we've tied ourselves to for so long, our careers, becomes obsolete? There's a tricky balance between feeling liberated from the grind and feeling like you've lost a big chunk of who you are. One of the more optimistic ideas about AI is that it'll help us collaborate with machines to unlock human potential. Imagine a future where you're using AI to enhance your creativity, whether you're writing, painting, or designing, by offloading tedious tasks and leaving you free to focus on the higher level stuff. Could machines help us become superhuman in the best sense of the word? By enhancing our cognitive abilities, boosting emotional intelligence, and even extending our physical abilities, humans could explore realms of potential we could only dream of. Of course, there's a flip side to this coin. If machines are doing all the work, will we just sit back and let them? Will our creative potential plateau because we don't need to do the thinking anymore? The idea is still up in the air, but it's clear that we're heading toward a future where humans and machines need to collaborate to define our place in the world. As AI becomes more advanced, the ethical questions start to pile up faster than a chatbot generating responses. When machines can perform emotionally intelligent tasks, like providing therapy, offering support, or even teaching children, what happens to human roles? Can AI truly replace human empathy, or is it just going through the motions? This creates a dilemma. How do we ensure AI doesn't cross boundaries, especially when it comes to sensitive issues like healthcare or parenting? Machines may excel at efficiency, but will they ever get the messy, unpredictable part of humanity? Will they know when to offer a hug, give a kind word, or show genuine empathy? These are the questions we need to answer as we walk the line between technological progress and human values. The real fear here is autonomy. If a few powerful entities control all the tech, we may lose our freedom to make decisions. AI could either make us more efficient or strip away our ability to choose. Will humans still have a say in the future, or will machines be pulling all the strings? That's a future worth worrying about. In a world where fake news is just a click away, truth has become a relative term. As the internet and social media continue to shape how we receive information, it's increasingly hard to tell fact from fiction. You know the drill. One minute someone's claiming that a celebrity is married to an alien, and the next you're questioning whether the news you read about a new global crisis is even true. The line between truth and falsehood is blurrier than ever, and the consequences are dire. Misinformation and fake news aren't just pesky inconveniences, they're a real threat to our society. Algorithms amplify this problem by prioritizing content that grabs attention, regardless of its accuracy. So a viral headline about a controversial topic is more likely to be spread than an accurate report buried in a long article. This fuels our biases, entrenches echo chambers, and distorts our perception of reality. When you're only ever exposed to news that aligns with your beliefs, it's easy to believe you've got the whole picture, but that picture is often distorted, and that's dangerous. The rise of deepfakes also adds fuel to this fire. A manipulated video of a public figure or political leader can create chaos and division in mere seconds. How do we fight against a world where what we see may not be what's real? Speaking of algorithms, let's talk about how they shape our perceptions of truth. Social media algorithms, like those on Facebook or YouTube, show us content that aligns with our preferences and beliefs. Great, right? Well, except when it leads us into an echo chamber where we're only hearing what we want to hear. Algorithms are designed to keep us engaged, not to promote healthy discourse. This creates a world where truth becomes subjective, where everyone's reality is skewed by what they've been shown, making it harder to find common ground. Traditional journalism, once the stalwart of truth, is struggling to keep up. News outlets are chasing clicks more than accuracy, and that means sensationalism often takes priority over solid, fact-based reporting. This shift has left us questioning who to trust, especially when sources are often biased. In an age of information overload, how do we differentiate between legitimate news and a cleverly written piece of misinformation designed to sway our opinions? Education is undergoing a radical transformation thanks to technology. From virtual classrooms to gamified learning experiences, traditional schooling is becoming less and less like what we grew up with. While some see these changes as a great opportunity, others wonder whether we're losing something valuable in the process. Will we be left with better technology but less critical thinking? AI, virtual classrooms, and digital tools are changing how we learn. Students now have access to personalized education through adaptive learning platforms, making the one-size-fits-all approach of traditional classrooms a thing of the past. Is this the future of learning? Some argue that this technology allows for a more inclusive and tailored approach, while others worry it may create a divide, where only those with access to top-tier resources truly benefit. But regardless of how we feel about it, technology is making waves in the education system, and those waves are only going to get bigger. Thanks to platforms like YouTube, Khan Academy, and Coursera, knowledge is now more accessible than ever. What was once reserved for a select few is now available to anyone with an internet connection. This democratization of education means that a person in a small town can learn the same thing as someone at an Ivy League school. But with this access comes new challenges. If anyone can learn anything, how do we ensure that the quality of learning stays consistent? How will institutions adapt to a world where education is no longer a privilege, but a basic right? In a world where AI and automation are taking over traditional jobs, employers are beginning to value skills more than academic credentials. The future may be about learning how to think critically, adapt to change, and collaborate with others. Skills that can't necessarily be measured by a letter grade. How do we prepare students for jobs that don't exist yet? The focus is shifting from memorization to skill building, with an emphasis on creativity, emotional intelligence, and adaptability. In a world where jobs evolve faster than you can say artificial intelligence, lifelong learning is no longer optional, it's essential. The question is, how do we encourage continuous education throughout people's lives? Whether it's through online courses, certifications, or professional development, the concept of lifelong learning is becoming a necessity in our ever-changing world. How will the education system adapt to support individuals in their quest to learn, unlearn, and relearn throughout their careers? Only time will tell. To wrap it all up, we're living in a world where the search for meaning is anything but boring. With AI and automation slowly taking over tasks we once thought were uniquely human, we're all left wondering, what now? While technology can help us become more connected and efficient, it also throws us into existential questions about who we really are. The rise of life design and new philosophies lets us explore alternative paths, but it's not without its challenges. Throw in misinformation, digital manipulation, and the evolution of education, and we've got ourselves an exciting, albeit chaotic, future ahead. Ready for the ride?